oboto olyawo agulira akapikipiki ayinza okugula akapikipiki engere natandika okuvuga mboti muli ate tagulire pikipiki yake eyakubiri no onkolwakino mwine mvugo wepikipiki ye kasana funako esente afunire omwala w'okutundu w'isomero kabiri kale bamukwaite ali ayina ku polisi ono onkolera nti alina okutandika nakuvuga pikipiki ya muntu naye nabalire nakakolwa yendye sente nateekayo endipoziti okupikipiki eye olwokuba tibataka abantu okubasumbuwa ino batira ino okwewala ebyefamire ino era nemuyizambu tusolonga esente babi olumbe abeera ndimunga wule sente abawula muba maite muba maite ebifaananyi ebitomaisi n'abantu bano basolonze sente omuntu n'alima n'abali mawulimi nabyatandikira n'ebibakitono. It's coming to a year since we started talking intensively about Parish Model. Parish Model, the goal, I can summarize it as coming to wake up and enable those who are not in the money economy to participate. So the mindset change is to help you realize that you need to shape your mind, that you need to be part of this. All of us need to be part of the productivity in Uganda. They can talk about us going into middle income, and for you, you are still in deep poverty. So you need to take that personal responsibility. And this program is a program, it's not about giving money, it's about facilitating households and individuals to become productive and enter the money economy and also practically be part of the middle income. Now, in this parish, we started the training people on Parish Development Model in 2021 September. At the moment, for me, I learned about it. I thought it was an excellent idea. So as a leader, I decided to do an experiment, to do a pilot to see how it will work. So since September 2021, we've been mobilizing this parish, this community, Kaberekiki, to see how parish development model is actually going to play out. But I noted that in all the meetings we have, the youth don't come. They don't participate, and even when they participate, they will participate today, and then tomorrow they tend to leave the meetings early, and yet they are very, very important in the development. One, the youth are among the poorest in this community. They move around, they look healthy, but they are among the low-income earners. Two, the youth need the skills. We have a lot of youth here who have dropped out of school. They don't have any skills. And even when we have brought here people to skill them, they don't seem to be interested to participate. And so they have a little partial information, but not enough for them to form their minds, for us to achieve the mindset change, for them to take advantage. And then when you look in the organization of the Parish Development Model, especially when it comes to financial inclusion, this fund which the government is sending to the parish, 30% is dedicated to youth. But the youth are not participating. They are not getting trained. They are not getting the skills. So even when we give them the money, they will not really be able to use it. So I set out this time specifically to come and bring the youth on board and talk with them, take them briefly through what I have taken, because for the rest of the community, before we started the skills training, I came and did the mindset change training. That first part of the training that helps people realize where they are economically and why they are there. So I had an abridged version of training. I really want the youth leaders to feel included. They need to understand and address their constituency. Because much as there is that financial inclusion and the money is little, the knowledge, the skills that we are bringing here Literally, we can cover everybody in the parish, but if there is systematic exclusion because people are not participating, then we are not going to achieve our goal of transforming the parish. One of the sessions, Lydia, I started to pick interest in parish development model and the mindset change. We didn't have any national materials, but I had a lot of experience training people in mindset change, especially in my profession in public health. When you want people to adopt something uncomfortable, you have to find a way to make them, they need it, but it's uncomfortable. So I used to train leaders. I used to train leaders who are going to be in the community. So I adopted a series of trainings, which I brought here. I usually do it in 4 sessions in any new parish before we begin the formal training. So one of the trainings is to help people realize that how they spend their time is very, very important and is going to be a big determinant.
Ngazwera mukabele kawodi tubadde no minisita waffe omulungi Monica aze wano kusomera wano St. Paul obutubuulirako ebigambo ebya parish model nga bwe bitambula mu gavumenti. Ngaffe abavubuka tubadde wansi nnyo, naye olunaku olwaleero minisita waffe omulungi aze wano olwaleero ne tubeera wamu naye atusomesaako ebikwatagana ne parish model. So tusiimye nnyo nga nze Kefa bali simanyi kigambo parish model, naye olwa Monica antuseko n'angamba Kefa kigambo parish model kimanyi? Ngamba nti nedda. N'angamba nti jangu n'abavubuka banno tukusomeseko mutegere kigambo parish model kibeera. Kakati olwaleero tutandise okutegera ekigambo kya parish model era tukimanyi bulungi nti parish model ye gavumenti yaleeta ekigambo parish model nga yagala abantu abawansi baveeyo babeere nga balina batusyako emikono nga balungirungi mu kale. Ayogedde ku kyawano n'obudde tukitegedde bulungi nga obudde tubadde tukozesamu nga bubi nnyo, nga tubeera n'essente naye nga tugikozesa mu makubo mabi nnyo, naye olwaleero atusomesezza kunagamba nti obeera
been around. The government has been wanting to engage almost every group of Ugandans, but it's actually unfortunate that they rarely inform the youth, or they rarely educate people about this man, about how this money is going to be spread. If you look at the different forms of money, maybe emyoga, all those forms of money, they have been coming, maybe wealth creation, they have been coming, but they only give to a certain group of people. Maybe the elderly, they could give maybe to those in power, but we are so appreciative today that you have realized that this money is for both the youth, elderly, for the women, for the men, for the disabled. Yeah.
Then another thing, I've been in all these efforts by government to uplift the youth from poverty. My findings and my experience of almost over 20 years is that the youth have a mindset challenge, which by design limits them to succeed in anything. Number one is that they change their minds almost at an hourly interval. That you meet with them, you ask them, and then they give you a list of their interests, you prioritize it. The following day or the following time when you come back, follow up on what you agreed, you find when they have already shifted their minds. An example, when I was with NUSAF, Northern Uganda Social Action Fund in Paris, you'd meet them and then they say, we want exotic animals, exotic cows. Then you write a concept around the exotic animals. Next time you come, they say the exotic animals are difficult to manage, we want the local ones. You change that to the local one. Next time you come, they say, now the money is not enough, and we would want everybody to take home something of their own. All of a sudden they say, no, I think we want goats. That in itself, you realize that where people are very uncertain, they are not sure of what they want, it becomes very difficult to plan for them. And even when you know what would be best for them, good planning which will give results calls for the participation and the interests of the benefiting communities themselves. You will not come and impose anything on the youth. They will not take it up. The youth have this mindset in them, like even today. They are saying, we want to cash. Let everybody be given his cash, and he goes around, they will know what to do with it. And say, no. That's not the way to go. Government wants to come in and help you on enterprises. First of all, train you so that the enterprise you are choosing, you will succeed. With them, they want mereyalero. Get money today, eat it, and still remain in the state where they are. Mindset change has to be done seriously if the youth are to benefit from this parish development model and all other government enterprises. But I think this time even government has to be more serious, that money, funds, resources shouldn't be just flushed down the drain. There is a need to understand the root causes of the failure of all the previous government programs in order for this parish development model to succeed. That's my take on this.
To test a productivity acceleration model, a model that can be used by the parish development to cause transformation in other parishes. Therefore, we have been testing this model to learn what works and what doesn't work, so that by the time we go to multiply it in other parishes, we have lessons learned. We always come back, discuss the lessons, discuss the challenges, and we see what could we have done better. Right now in this parish, the members have reached the stage whereby they have acquired the skills, they have acquired the techniques, they have acquired the heart, and now they are establishing their own enterprises in the home. The heart of the model is that there must be an industrial household enterprise. So every participant, every household should have an enterprise in their homes that gives them the money, that gives them the livelihood. So right now what they are doing, each of the participants that we have worked with all the way from February are now establishing their own enterprises. And as they do that, they do it in an integrated manner, whereby we also ensure that as they are looking at livestock, they also integrate with the crop for food security, but also trees for the climate change. We want to approach community in such a way that the climate change is addressed, the food security is addressed, and the household economy is addressed. And we are grateful to the government, because this model, AFISA came as a result of the directive of the president himself, and therefore we are grateful to the government for the fundings that so far they have done, and to the ministry for choosing us and working with us to test this model, the productivity acceleration model, that is intended to be used by the parish development model if the government wishes so. And therefore we are grateful. And so we are working with this community. It's not a one-day work. It's not even a 3 days agenda. So we are working with this community for the whole year to see how do they change? What exactly causes that change? And what could be done? So scientifically, we develop that model, we develop a model that can realistically change a community. We are also grateful to Musenero University, because it's an institution where AFISA is, and it is by the council that AFISA came in place. Therefore, we are grateful to Musenero University for allowing and accepting an institution that transfers science, technology, and innovations all the way from the university down to the community, for the change and transformation of an ordinary man. Therefore, we are grateful for that. So in this community, we are going to keep working with these people for a full year. We expect that by the end of this year, there will be a change. However, in the middle there, we shall come back and do what we call the mid-term, the midline assessment. So we want to see, since we started up to now, what change has taken place and what exactly has caused that change, and how can it be replicated, how can it be improved. So in few months from now, we shall come back and do the midline assessment and gauge what is the magnitude of this change and what trend it is going to take.